Hit it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the number one gambling podcast you will find in the Western Hemisphere. We are back once again. We are betting the diagonal. I am your co-host this evening on this beautiful journey into the wild abyss, Morgan, aka Mo Watts, here once again with the boy, my man, man with the plan, Billy Boy. Billy, how we doing, baby?
I feel great. I feel wonderful. Outside of a couple, tough losses today, I feel like I got my mojo back after.
Think I
And
got my swagger
I
back.
think I got my swagger back after Saturday's absolute murderous slate that just took most of my bankroll. But we're
Mine
here.
too.
We're here. Wednesday fun day. Anybody? Anybody? I'm excited.
I like to call it a Wicked Wednesday.
Oh, Wicked Wednesday. I don't hate
Wicked
that.
Wednesday. I like to bring out my inner Bostonian that doesn't exist.
Oh man,
The wicked pisser.
wicked business. Today is going to be a miscellaneous kind of day. We were supposed to have a special guest, but he got held up packing for Las Vegas slash I allegedly bad juju to bet. It's more like he was salty after giving me a pick and it being the only loser on my card on Tuesday. So, take it for what you will. Hutch, the UFC guy, is flying to Vegas as we speak to go watch the fights live. So
I was actually just gonna say, is he going to see the fights?
yeah, he's going to see the fights,
Oh
and
shit!
he's going
Nice.
to the Knights game. I think they play the Flyers. If I'm correct.
Great. Another loss for the Flyers.
Let me double check.
Phenomenal.
That's Friday.
That's exciting.
Do
Take
they? Yeah, they play
the
the Flyers. They play the
take
Flyers
the Knights.
Friday
Take
night.
the Knights alternate line minus 2.5.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be beneficial to you and all of your loved ones. You can afford your Christmas.
Yep. We have a couple things that we're going to go over first before we get into some picks. Real quick. Sorry to anybody who took those prop bets for me on Monday night. Yes, I know the winds were 50 miles an hour. I'll give you some logic behind it. I was planning on taking the over, like Morgan decided to do anyway because he's an idiot. But
Morgan doesn't read the weather report very well.
yeah, I said my literal handicap of the game was wait till the day of and let's see what the weather's like. He's like, I'm just gonna lock it in.
No, I'm a man of honor. I'm a man of honor. I'm not going to backtrack on what I do.
Yep, I bet on Kendrick Bourne over 2.5 receptions and Cole Beasley over 3.5 receptions. Now I get it, 50-mile-an-hour winds. Bill, what are you thinking? Me, I'm thinking short passes, real quick outs. Both those receivers do that quite well. Who was I to know that Bill Belichick would be running the triple option?
What a game!
The most boring game I've ever seen.
I stopped watching once the half hit. I didn't put it back.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I had no interest. If I wanted to watch that, I could have watched the Georgia Tech Navy game
or Army Navy, like we'll talk about later on.
Speaking of which, we'll get there.
Yeah, I know you want to talk about Alabama and that I was wrong, but you were also wrong. So
I feel like the most important one that we talked about, and before I'll get into that, that game, I take full disclosure. I had the over in that game. I thought, take out the fact that it was basically a hurricane of snow, and we probably would have hit that over. I have no doubt in my mind that we would have hit that over.
Me too.
I texted Billy. It was, 11-8 at one point, and I texted Billy. I was like, "So you're saying we got a chance?" And I was like, "All right, we're creeping slowly." And then it just died immediately. And I was like, "Yeah, this is not even worth my time anymore." After I saw the 29th straight run play, I was like, I can't do this. I feel like I'm playing a game of Madden against some like moron or something right now. Like, this is just ridiculous.
It was bad.
That was not a fun game to watch at all. I don't think that was a real. I know I had said last week the winner of this game was the team to beat in the AFC. I don't think that game really showed me anything for either team, to be honest. That's a throwaway the tape kind of game. It's not even worth studying in the slightest bit. That was such an outlier.
I don't know, because I said on FFD, I don't know if you listened to the whole episode, Morgan. I said, now what is preventing every other team to just run the ball like 70 times against the Bills? What are they going to do? Because their best defense
in the grand scheme of things, though, the Bills didn't do terrible against the run. Like, there was a couple big plays here and there, but I don't think they were that awful against.
No,
I
they
think when you
weren't.
run the ball a billion times, you're bound to give up yards. Like it's
Yeah.
a skewed stat. I don't think they played that bad. I mean, look at their passing defense. It got so much better this past week. You know, like
Takes 9 hour ways to do that to you.
yeah, it was crazy. Like watching those kicks. As soon as the one that really killed it, once I saw Tyler Bass, who had been the fucking announcer jinxed him, had been a perfect 19 for 19 in his career on kicks of like under 35. Once I watched that ball take that kick all the way to the right, I was like, "This, I got no shot. This isn't even this. I'm down. I'm out of here. I don't want to do this. I can't put myself through this pain.
I had a friend who
I'd
lost.
rather watch The Bachelorette right now."
I had a friend who lost his fantasy season because of that kick. He was up like .08 or whatever. Guy missed that kick.
Like
lost.
All it sounds like right there is he did not read FFD, where it was said to take out your kickers this past week.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're playing 50-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, that's just a poor judgment call.
Yeah, I mean, lucky for me, I had no shot of making my playoffs or winning this week. So I went up, ready for this one. You're going to enjoy this. I went up against the worst team in my league this week. Very worst. Had 2 wins and had come off 3 straight games of scoring a combined total of 154 points. I needed to win to stay alive. I had 188 points put up against me, and I scored 90.
Against the worst team?
The worst team in the league. Put up 188. The whole season, the highest total this kid had in any single game, any single matchup, was 117. He puts up 188 against me this week and ends my playoffs.
Just one of them days.
Unreal. Unbelievable. I might be the first ever league commish to not make the playoffs in the league's inaugural season. It is disgusting. I suck at fantasy sports. Don't ever listen to me. I'm trash.
That's what I'm here for. Shout out to you. Not reading the room correctly, I should say. Taking Alabama, not being a square like me all Saturday.
That's right. We're 3-1 head-to-head now, baby. We're on the board.
I will say that, I mean, you thought it'd be a different game. I don't know how you saw it going, but like, if you were going to take the under, you were assuming that Georgia was going to win. That's just at least my handicap of the game. If you're going to take an under, you think Georgia's going to win because Georgia's going to put up points.
So my head was this was going to be a Heisman win for Bryce Young, and it was going to be a very low-scoring game to the very end, and Bryce Young was going to cement his Heisman trophy with a game-winning drive right at the end.
That was your handicap of the game?
That was my belief. That was what I was convinced was going to happen. Bryce Young played phenomenally. I was spot on Alabama. There was no way. I said last week there was no way in hell Alabama should be getting 6.5 points. They are far too good of a team, and they're clearly the superior team to Georgia. Like you can't even say Georgia. Like Georgia's defense, this legendary defense, got spanked by Alabama and one of the worst offensive lines in the nation.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Shout out to me for technically going 0-5 on Twitter. Forgetting to post the Cincinnati game on my official card. Thanks to Morgan, let it ride. Let me keep that win because everybody knows I've been on Cincinnati all year. Yeah. Shout out to you for telling me to hammer Oklahoma State. I hate you.
All right, let me just put this in a bunch of different defenses. A couple different defenses of this pick. Baylor's backup quarterback had a perfect passer rating for a short touchdown. Unbelievable. Oklahoma State's quarterback, who is going to be in the running for probably second team Big 12 or so, threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah.
Things that just they should not have happened. I mean,
they got stopped like they ran like what was it 20 plays within the 5-yard line and got 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
come on now.
It was just a shit game all around. It should have gone the Oklahoma State way. Oklahoma State had every opportunity to cover and win that game easily, and they could not execute. You know, fuck Oklahoma State for bettors and everything. You trash bag school. This is why you're always going to be second fiddle in the Big 12.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have to catch up on.
What else did I tell you to handle last
Tennessee,
night?
Texas Tech was the worst game ever played.
That's
Um,
disgusting.
Morgan doesn't consult me when he bets on college basketball anymore, and he bet the wrong side, bet with his heart. And
I said to my boy, that was a bet of the heart right there. I saw my Tennessee boys ranked number 13 in the nation, only the cover and a spread of 4.5. Absolutely, I thought we would do it. I didn't know anything. I knew nothing going into that one, but I saw my Tennessee boys on home court, and it didn't happen. It didn't work out well for me. You live and you learn.
Yeah, I mean, even like the bets that I'm losing recently in college basketball, like tonight, I lost an under by 1.5. UConn tonight was brutal. It was a ref job. Absolutely, the ref just slaughtered me at the end of the game, calling ticky-tack fouls while UConn's getting smashed underneath the boards on the other end. But I feel like I'm on the right track. So
You want to hear a really bad one? So I want to shout out. I got my boy Frosh, who listens to this podcast. He's a religious listener, listens to every episode. Shout out to him. I was watching football games with him on Sunday, and he did this massive same game parlay with the Buccaneers game. And he hit, I don't remember how many pieces it was. It was 6 or 7 or 8. He hit on 7, missed just one. The one pick that he missed on was Leonard Fournette over 44.5 yards rushing.
Oh.
Leonard Fournette finished with 44 yards rushing and 49 yards receiving. And this payout was going to be massive for him. Half yard he missed it by. So I know when this comes out, he'll be listening to this. Shout out to him, us first off, and he gets us. I will say he also gets a lot of people to listen to this for us. So thank you for him. You hate to see it. I remember I was sitting at the bar, I was laughing hysterically. I felt
there's nothing you can do.
What are you gonna do? It was like, what are you gonna do? I kept checking ESPN for any stat corrections. Just maybe one of those passes gets ruled it was backwards and it's a run. Nope.
Listen,
you hate this.
Shout out to him for being an avid listener, but that is a brutal way to go down. You know what another brutal way to go down is? If you follow hockey at all, Toronto minus 1.5 last night was probably the worst beat in the history of sports. With 0.01 seconds, the Columbus Blue Jackets scored a goal to cover the plus 1.5. It was brutal. My college roommate had an 18 parlay, 7 legs down. 7 legs down. Last leg, Toronto minus 1.5. He hasn't said a word to me since. I can't get him on the phone. Don't know. I gotta drive up a couple hours north to go see if he's all right.
Got to see if everyone's still out there.
Yeah, it's rough. But let's talk some gambling for the future. Let's talk some winners.
Let's talk the only college football game that matters this week. It is the only game that is on this week. I do believe there's some FCS games. I might have an FCS card come Saturday.
God.
I've been thinking about it. But the only game that matters, the granddaddy of them all, the biggest one, Army versus Navy, the classic, El Clasico, as we call it, the Bill Belichick special. I am pumped. This is always one of the very best games of the year. Army right now is a 7.5 point favorite with the total. It has dropped to 34.5. Unfortunately, I got it early at 36.5, which I'm ecstatic about. Yep. Ecstatic that I got it. Not that I'd still play the 34.5, but all over the under. The under is clearly the way to go. These two teams, the under cashes like crazy. In the last 16 seasons, the under is cashed 81% of the time with these two teams. And it has paid out in 3 of the last 4 between them. The under, ready for this one, this is the best stat, my favorite one. 47 head-to-head matchups between the two service academies. The under is 38-9.
Wild.
They beat the shit out of each other to show who is the most dominant academy. This game is all about respect. It is about earning the admiration of your peers out there on the field with you. There will not be any running the scores up. This is a consistent. The best bet in all of college sports is the under for these two teams. I hammered it, and this is what I feel very confident telling you to hammer it.
I'm off of it now.
I hammered this one here. I'm also going to be on Army minus 7.5. Army historically has dominated this matchup against Navy. The main difference, these two teams have some similarities. The main difference is Army can actually throw the ball. They can take the top off a little bit. They can be very explosive. They only throw the ball 7.7 times per game, but when they do pretty good. They average 12.12 yards per attempt through the air and 21.9 yards per completion because everyone's just gearing up for the run consistently. Navy's biggest weakness is run defense, which is Army's biggest strength. It's playing completely in the hand. This will be a 8-9 guy in the box consistently with two corners out wide trying to cover options. You're going to see some big plays. I wouldn't be shocked if Army hits at least one big pass play in this game. I like Army minus 7.5 with the under 36.5.
I like the under as well. I have it under 35.5. I think it's 36, but I'll take that as basically 36. Like we said before, this team is just filled with unders. Both of these teams, they live to hit unders. That's their goal in life. It's their goals, programs. My one question about Navy though is, if you run the ball as much as they do, how do you have a bad run defense? All you do is practice against the runner.
Practice it all day. It's the wildest thing, and I will never ever. You'll never hear the words that they're not physical enough come out of my mouth because of it being a military academy. But I don't know what it is. Tough. They've had a tough schedule this year, that's for sure. New schemes coming in. I couldn't answer that for you. It's weird.
Yeah, there's just gonna be run plays, more running plays, a couple option plays, and then some running plays.
I just want to see a wishbone offense, triple option. Give me a few veers here and there. It's going to be beautiful. This is old school football. This game that we got stuck watching Monday night, I didn't want to watch it Monday night. I wanted to watch it on Saturday. Now I'm actually going to be geared up to watch this game on Saturday.
You weren't prepared to watch the game on Monday night. Now you are.
I wanted to see points.
Now you got to warm up.
I wanted some offense.
Yeah.
I needed 100 points out of Stephon Diggs Monday night to win my fantasy matchup. I needed some touchdowns.
Some of these fantasy things are just insane. People are like, "Yo, I need to win by 95 points." My good luck. I can't help you anymore. I can't help you. All right, I'm gonna move over to the hardwood if you don't mind. You know me. It's college basketball season. I love nothing more than coming home after a nice long day, watching college basketball, and once those 10 o'clock games tip off, those lines for tomorrow start pouring in, and I love it. I love it. A couple games that I already had circled that I was knew I was going to bet on. Morgan added one that I will be betting on. Didn't have a line for it. He confirmed what I thought. I'm going to be on that as well. But first game on the board for me is going to be Iowa State plus 3.5. Money line sprinkle against Iowa. Yes, Iowa may be a offensive juggernaut. Top 5 in offensive efficiency, top 50 in field goal percentage, both inside and outside of the arc. And they have the lowest turnover ratio in the country. Turnover rate, different thing. Sorry. But their defense is more confused than a baby mama on Father's Day. They couldn't stop a blind snail. They stink. They rank dead last in defense efficiency. Anybody and a middle school girls team could score on them. They could put up 65 on them any night. Iowa State, on the other hand, is the opposite. Defensive minded, holding teams to only 60.1 points per game, forces the 6th most turnovers in the country, and is inside the top 20 when it comes to guarding the 3-point line. Iowa, what they do best is dribble drive, kick out for threes to McCaffrey, to Bohannon, to Keelan. All they do is shoot threes, chuck and pray. Yes, they shoot at a high percentage because they have phenomenal shooters, but Iowa State does a great job of closing out. The Cyclones they're a great story. Like NIL, by the way, hint, hint, told you to take the money line, didn't listen to me. My one bet that you talked me out of. They're a great story. After being one of the worst teams in the country last season, a measly 2-22, they had 10 players transfer, bringing a first-time head coach. 8-0 start the year. Can't beat that. I think the Cyclones get into the passing lanes, disrupt the three-point shot, win turnover battle. Iowa really typically struggles against physical teams that box out, get turnover, and force turnovers. Iowa cannot rebound whatsoever. Don't look at the actual stats. Watch the games. They're afraid to get banged down low in the paint. I love Iowa State. I think they went outright, take the points, but I'm sprinkling money line. Couple of stats: underdog in this matchup is 6-1-1 against the spread in the last 8 meetings. Cyclones are 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 versus a team with a winning record above 60%. Last stat: Cyclones are 14-6 straight up in the last 20 versus Iowa in Ames. It's a tough place to play. It's a rivalry game. Cyclones are going to get up for this one. Sprinkle the money line.
Sprinkle, sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle, baby. Yeah, I like that. I do like that a lot.
You have no idea if you like it or not.
I know. I trust you. So if you talk me into it, I'm in. I'm all aboard it.
Yep.
You're the college basketball guy, so I trust you. You've almost never led me astray. You were right yesterday, and I was wrong. So I gotta ride with the boys. I do have the 2 leans. I have Kent State, which I said first. I just want to throw that out there. I said that one first, even though you technically just said it first. I did say Kent State to cover over Detroit Mercy. Unfortunately, I only had 4 games available to me so far, so I don't have a ton of college basketball picks or anything. But I do have Kent State minus 4.5 over Detroit Mercy.
That's on my card as well.
Okay, yeah, and I'm going to take Gonzaga to cover over Merrimack. What'd you say? You said you had 27.5?
I believe it's 27.5. I could be wrong, but
I feel very good about that number.
27.5.
Gonzaga hasn't been playing as great. They've been kind of suffering some bad losses of late. I think they got to come out and murder Merrimack. I think they might win this game by 40. But I'm not that crazy. I'm not going to give them an alternate spread
29.
of 39.5. 29. That's fine. I'll take it at 29 still. So I'm going to taking Gonzaga minus 29. Gonzaga obviously being who everyone presumed the number 1 team in the nation. Merrimack is a very lowly school. It's just a little get right game here for Gonzaga. Really to get Drew Timme going, to get Chet out there, get him some reps out there on the offensive side of the ball. I think Gonzaga wins this one pretty easily.
That's what I thought about Tarleton State, so I bet on Gonzaga last week, and it didn't work out. I do like the logic. I don't know. I think I'm going to stay away from Gonzaga until they get back to mid-season form.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad choice.
There's always 130 games to bet on every day, so.
There's a few. Well, unless you're me, and apparently I have 4. So that makes it a little bit more challenging. Yeah, I don't have to, unfortunately, I don't have too much else college basketball for you right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, DraftKings. You're doing great for me. You really did an awesome job putting a ton
There's
of
only
out.
like 20 games on tomorrow, so like.
I only have 4 of them.
You have a quarter of the game. You have a fifth of games. You have 20% of the games.
Before I talk about the professional hardwood and everything, I know we said off show that we weren't going to touch anything NFL, but I do have one play for NFL tomorrow officially now. And you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it.
I'm going to hate it.
All right. Steelers, Vikings, right? They're playing 8:20. TJ Watt, over a half a sack is the play. TJ Watt is on it is at minus 125.
Get the fuck out of here. I'll text you off there.
All right. On an absolute bender is TJ Watt right now with sacks. I saw that and I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to grab that immediately.
He had 3 sacks last week.
Yeah, the dude leads the league in sacks and he missed two.
Are you holding an egg? Games. Hold on.
It's a little mini football.
Oh,
it's a little squeeze like stress football.
Sorry for anybody who's not watching. That looks like an egg. Like, is he holding a brown egg?
I hold a different ball depending on which sport I'm about to talk to you. If I got a baseball, if I'm going to talk baseball, I got a little mini football. I got to get a little squeeze basketball next. But I will take TJ Watt over a half a sack. Absolutely. Guys on a roll. The Minnesota Vikings offensive line historically, and this season has not been all that great. Adam Thielen is out, which means Kirk Cousins is not going to have that safety blanket that he can hold the ball even longer and longer. He's going to have to force Justin Jefferson, which means he is going to get gun shy in the pocket. I love it.
I didn't look into the prop set. I'll probably have a prop of depending on what they are. I'm not betting on either side of the game. I don't trust either team. Steelers should not have won that game last week. The Lions just beat the Vikings, so what the fuck do I know about football? You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations to Detroit. I'm very glad that you guys won a game. You deserved it.
Yeah, fade Detroit at all costs this week. That's a locked and loaded pick right there. That's for tomorrow's episode, but I'd tell you heads up.
Yeah, we'll get
I'm fading the shit out of Detroit. Alternate line tomorrow.
All right, I got two. And there's only 3 games on the NBA slate tomorrow. I have 2 plays as of right now for them. I might get into a third later.
Okay, you want to just talk about all of your picks, and then I'm just going to sit here, or?
Oh yeah, because it's your. Go ahead.
You know what it is? Because we're just jumping from sport to sport.
It's a miscellaneous episode.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Whatever we want to talk about.
Listen, man, it's been since what?
How about that new Halo?
April?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Halo's been good. Listen, it's been since April since we've done a miscellaneous episode, man. So it gets tiring around here. We don't know. We don't have form around here. That's our thing.
Yeah.
We're
loosey-goosey. Our notes. I have jumped from line 1 to line 57 in my notes, so I'm all over the place. It's a wicked Wednesday.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. I have 2 more college basketball plays, and I have a UFC parlay I'm going to talk about. So whatever you want to do.
So we went from you talking college basketball to me talking college basketball to me throwing NFL in there to me trying to throw NBA in next.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up your college basketball stuff.
I'm going to go through 2 of them. One's quicker than the other, so I'll start with the quick one. Seton Hall +2 against Texas. Like I said at the beginning of the year, I was big on Texas coming into the season. They lost to Gonzaga. They've struggled to cover games since. They haven't faced a team as strong as Seton Hall Pirates since they've played Gonzaga. They've beaten a bunch of nobodies, still struggle. On the other side, Seton Hall has beaten the likes of Yale, big Yale guy over here. Cal, solid team, and top 5 team in Michigan already this season. They beat all 3 of them. I think that Seton Hall pulls this one out as well. Seton Hall is a more physical team, better rebounding team, and whenever a game like this is close, it's similar like how West Virginia was today. It's like a 2-3 point spread. Usually, I take the more physical team. I think I try to lean towards teams that will fight for every possession. Difference maker for Seton Hall, one of the 2 is I'm going to butcher this name, Abuja, Nigeria, 7'2" center, averages just under 3 blocks per game. He's the absolute controller of the paint. Texas likes to dribble drive, and I don't think they'll be able to get into the paint very often with that big boy down low. Also, Roden, the 6'6" guard, offensive playmaker, scorer, 5th-year senior. He's an absolute stud. Texas may be filled with studs, but they have yet to truly bring it together as a full team. And this is going to be a real gritty matchup. Seton Hall is averaging 83 points per game, which is 26th in the country, while only allowing 62 points per contest. Give me Seton Hall +2. And then my final pick, it's things I don't like to do, but I'm doing it anyway. Purdue -11.5 versus Rutgers. Rutgers stinks.
That's a weird number.
Yes. That's why I'm saying it's something I don't like to do. 11.5 stinks. It's a dead number. It's just there's not many dead numbers in basketball. That one just it never hits. It's usually 14, 10. There's no in between. There's no 11. Yeah. Purdue looks for real this year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Matt Painter is one of the best coaches in the country. Jaden Ivey leading the charge for Purdue, averaging just under 16 points per game, just under 7 assists per game. He's got a real shot at being the player of the year this year. Purdue has already knocked off very strong Nova team. Very, very strong. I really like what Nova did last night, by the way. I know you're a big Nova guy.
Hell yeah.
Beat Iowa, offensive powerhouse, who we just talked about. Florida State. And I don't know why, but they claim this as a key win so far as UNC. I don't see it being a key win by the end of the year. But it is what it is. On the other hand, Rutgers has looked bad. disappointing, tough to watch at some times, just to say the least. Listen, Purdue they're backing up with the numbers with the way they've been playing. They rank 6th in the nation in points per game, ninth in assists per game, 11th in rebounds per game, top 20 in assist turnover ratio, shoot 76% from the free throw line, which is top 50, and they get to the line 12th most in the country. Rutgers, on the other hand, ranked 242nd in points per game.
It's not good.
No, it's not good. With only 65 points per. Ranked 321st in shooting efficiency. They force about 12 turnovers per game, which is above average, but they give up about 11 turnovers per game, so they're just giving back whatever they take. Purdue has been laying the wood against everybody this year. Give me Purdue minus 11.5. I'll take it up to 15. Not worried. Purdue wins by 20.
Once you said that number, as soon as I actually can play it, I will be on it as well. When that happens,
it'll be 13. I think
probably, but I'll still play it. Purdue is just that good. Purdue is absolutely dominant this season.
They can lose. They can lose to like another good team. I see them losing to Ohio State. I see them losing to Michigan.
But I think Michigan could give them a run on a good night. Michigan could give them a run.
Michigan's look bad, but they're still a solid team.
They have the size, which is the key. Hunter Dickinson down there, that gives them the size that can match up. That's huge right there itself. I do love that. Once I am eligible to play that pick, I will be all over that one as well. Lock it in. So that's a good one.
Got for me on the pro hardwood. Shout out to my Knicks. All right. Bing bong.
Bing bong. The New York parlay hit yesterday.
Yes,
love that. Like I said before, I just jumped into 13 different sports in 1 second. There are only 3 games on the NBA hardwood tomorrow night. The first one is going to cut close to home. It's going to be the Jazz versus my 76ers. We're going to take the Jazz. 100% going to take the Jazz. And if you can get this fast, as soon as it comes out, get it. I think there is a very good chance Embiid sits on a back-to-back game and does not play coming out of COVID, where he was out for 3 weeks. There's no shot that he will play in this game tomorrow, in my opinion. This will be an Andre Drummond game. I think the Jazz are going to just destroy them. The Sixers, 3-7 against the spread at home. They have not been playing very well. When Embiid's not out there, everyone's known for years they are a very different team. When he's out there, they're a title contender, no matter who's out there with him. When he's not, it's a different team. Yes, Drummond is still a very good center. He can give Rudy Gobert some damage. Donovan Mitchell has been on a mission so far this season, really putting up good numbers. Joe Ingles is a great role player. Mike Conley has been playing extremely well. Sixers they look very lost right now when Embiid's not carrying the load. The past 2 nights, Embiid has gone for 75 points and 28 rebounds. You're taking that production out of lineup. Tyrese Maxey has been struggling tremendously. Seth Curry can only do so much, and he's a guy that you can put a physical defender on that really takes him out of the play a little bit. Tobias Harris has not been playing well in the slightest bit of late. I love the Jazz in this spot coming into Philadelphia. They have, in the past few years, been very strong against the Sixers. I think that's going to be a good Jazz win right there. Second game that I got thrown. Like I said, there's 3 games. I've got to do more digging in the third one still. But the second game is going to be the Spurs versus the Nuggets. I'm going to take the Spurs with the points in this game at home against Denver. Spurs are one of the very worst teams in the NBA. They stink. They're really bad. They did just get a massive win, though, against the best team in the NBA, the Warriors, just the other night. They did lose to the Knicks also. However, they come up with that big win. They're coming back home to their home stadium, where they also are 13-10 against the spread on the season. Actually, one of the stronger teams against the spread. They're not going to win this game. They shouldn't win this game. Denver's the better team. Denver's the more talented team. But this should be a cover for the Spurs. Denver, 4-8 against the spread on the road this season. So give me the Spurs plus the points. I might be able to get tempted into a little sprinkle of a money line because I think Pop can get him up for this game. But we'll see what happens.
All right. You know me, not tuned into the NBA whatsoever unless the Knicks are playing. Bing bong. No, last night. Was it last night? I bet the Knicks? Yeah, it was. I just felt like it was a good spot. I think it's a good bounce back game for the Spurs, though. Really do.
I do.
Don't hate that at all. All right.
It's tough to bet against a Popovich coach team.
Yeah. I was, just watching it the other day. It came across my feed on Instagram was when Popovich hack-a-shacked in the first 5 seconds of a game. It's classic.
Thank God he's in the West and doesn't play the Sixers and Ben Simmons. Oh, Simmons would break the free throw record.
Oh man, it was so. I just remember he's like, Shaq was so confused. He's like, "What's going on?" And you see Popovich like just chuckling in the corner.
He's just jiggling.
He was just all his glory because he hates it. He absolutely hates that style of basketball. All right, big UFC fight card this weekend. We were supposed to have a UFC professional here tonight. We don't. Therefore, it's me. I'm the next best option. I have
Greg might be available.
Who?
Greg might be available.
Greg? He has never won a UFC bet on this show. I don't know what you're talking about. I've at least won some.
It's the days where Greg told us he was this great UFC handicapper.
Ugh, it was brutal. Shout out to Greg. Love you, Greg. Greg's doing well. He said to say hello, Mr. Mo Watts. I saw him this
Greg
weekend.
a lot.
Anyway, big card this weekend. A lot of fights. One of the most hyped cards of the whole year. Headliner is Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you 2 leans I have, and then I'm gonna give you my parlay that I'm betting on. I will give you a heads up. I am not a professional UFC handicapper. My leans and whatnot are not as strong as they would be if I was betting on college basketball. I don't have the same kind of information that I do when I bet on college basketball. Doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm doing it anyway. Listen up and listen good. My first lean is over 1.5 rounds for Oliveira and Poirier. It's currently at minus 175. I'd take it now before it gets any higher because, it probably wind up moving to over 2.5. Kind of still like it there. I think this goes 3 out of 5 most likely. Sugar Sean O'Malley by KO. Don't have the juice, but it's definitely going to bump down his money line that's currently at minus 310. Probably be around like 180, 190, I hope. But he kind of almost always wins by KO, so we never know. Now, for the can't lose parlay. For the probably won't lose parlay. So I hope I don't lose parlay. Amanda Nunes, minus 900. Can't beat that.
That's a hell of a start.
Oh, she's a man. She's a man fighting women. Not like a physical man, but like she beats on people. Like she should be fighting in the men's division. That she's just that dominant. So starting off with that, nice and early, get a win under the belt. I'm taking O'Malley minus 310, which is another one. He still has not fought anybody of like true significance. Like they just keep lobbing him up these free fights. So I'm gonna keep taking them, keep winning money on that. And I like Poirier, so I will be taking Poirier minus 135. That parlay, I hope I win this parlay Saturday UFC 269 parlay is plus 140. It's Saturday night. I just think that Poirier. We'll just talk about Poirier real quick because it's the only one that actually makes a difference. Personally, for what I've seen, I love both these fighters. This one's going to be a fight for the ages. First off, I think Poirier is a more well-rounded fighter. He's hungry to take home the title that he believes he deserves. I do see a way Oliveira wins. He's a more technical fighter. Doesn't really make a lot of mistakes. Like I said, I'm not a UFC handicapper. It's not what I do. It's not what I'm good at. I just love to watch it, and I will be tuning in and can't wait. I will say if you do like Oliveira, the parlay switches from plus 140 to plus 245. Do with that information as you will. Nunes and O'Malley hit. They win. They win. I have a couple more leans. If I don't know, I don't have enough information, so I'm not giving them out. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, you'll see him on the card. Anything else for this, Mr. Mo Watts?
I got nothing else right now.
No. I hope I win parlays.
No, I hope. I know. I don't know shit. Is Kimbo Slice fighting?
No, he died, man.
Well, that's R.I.P.
Yeah.
I did not know. I don't know anything about that. What I do know, and what I can tell you right now, your boy is starting to get dialed in on some soccer action. I'm starting to feel good about it. I think there's going to be a big soccer card in the future. The next Champions League day, that's just Champions League games. Your boy might have something. I might have a can't lose parlay cooking.
See? See, that's why I'm just asking if you got one coming. Shout out to Arizona real quick, being up 31.5.
Oh baby,
Okay.
pretty good.
They're just a little bit better. Mr. Mo Watts, let's close this show out. Where can I find you? What are you doing
Yes,
this
let's
week?
shut her out. This week is a
There's no
great.
Eagles on this week, so what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't have to sit through hell. It's going to be amazing.
Gardner Minshew was a stud.
You mean I was a stud, right? I mean, it was me out there, clearly. God, that was such. I was so.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. Let's close it out.
I have an hour to talk about Gardner Minshew. It's all I talked about all Sunday afternoon. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of other things. We'll talk NFL tomorrow for everybody, and maybe if there's any little thing we want to throw out there, we will. But we'll have NFL talk on Thursday for all you degenerates. I am Morgan, your guy here at MoWatch26 at Betting Diagonal. I am here with Billy. Billy, tell the people where they can find you.
Billy FFG on Twitter. FFD_podcast on Twitter. Betting the Diagonal on Twitter. BTD to the moon. Listen.
Big thick dicks to the moon.
Let's ride that parlay up to the moon. Tail me, fade me. Always bet responsibly, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you like the content. Hope you like the show. Mr. Mo Watts, I will see you tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you tomorrow.